Hi everyone, welcome back. Now we're in lesson plan number 4, the final lesson plan. But real quick, let's take a recap of what we've discussed so far. In the first lesson plan, we talked about the importance of metaphor and using the 5 senses to help build a big list of words so you can create your metaphor. Again, you can use this particular lesson plan in any place you like, coffee shop, wherever, in your home, in your classroom, doesn't matter. Then, lesson plan number 2, we talked about the importance of the 10-minute don't hold back. This is a great exercise for you to break free of some of the writer's block that you may have. That happens to you every once in a while, happens to all of us, really. But this is a really important exercise to clear our minds and get us ready to start writing. I always like to use it first thing in the morning. Then, lesson plan number 3, and one of my favorites, was a letter poem. This is a really great narrative way for you to get all of the stuff that you've built up so far using metaphor and the 10-minute holdback and putting it into a structure of some sort. This is, again, a narrative type poem, and we can really use this on a regular basis. All right, so lesson plan number 4, very simple. In fact, you actually don't have to do any work or writing or anything like that for this particular lesson plan. What we're going to talk about is how you can have a poetry slam in your classroom or maybe up on your big stage in your auditorium, or you can even possibly bring me and my group of kids into your classroom. But first, let's talk about how you can have a poetry slam in your classroom. And let's talk about the rules. Basically, rule number 1 is going to be that you have to perform your own original poetry. Very important. Can't be anybody else's poetry. Rule number 2, you have 3 minutes to perform your original work. In some cases, they actually dock points if you go over 3 minutes, but I'll let your teacher be the judge of that. And speaking of judges, rule number 3, you are actually the judge, meaning whoever's not reading up in front of you, well, judges can volunteer from the classroom to score the poem. And we need 3 judges in order to do that, and you score from 0.0 to 10.0. 0.0 being the worst poem that you ever heard, and a 10.0 being the best poem that you ever heard. We got to have some guidelines for the judges, right? Because this is an important task. This is what's important for the judges. Be fair, be consistent, judge on 50% content and 50% performance, using 1 score, using the decimal point, and having fun. Now, for you teachers out there that are having poetry slams in your classroom, first and foremost, thank you very much. But we've got a few other resources that you can use. Number 1, poetryslam.com, a great place for you to research rules and examples of poetry slam material. And, of course, you may always contact me through my email, daddylane@gmail.com, and my Facebook, facebook.com/daddylane. All right, everyone, so that's it for lessons plans 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Poetry and National Poetry Month. I just want to take this time and thank you all for being a part of this, even if it has been virtually. But if you guys want us to come into your classroom or into your auditorium and put on a great show for you in the name of poetry, then we would be more than happy to do so. Teachers, just get in contact with us. But most importantly, I want you to have fun with this. I want you to know that I give you permission to express yourself and to let it be known that your voice, more than anything, is the most important thing in this age right now. So please, without further ado, I'd like to give you some more examples of some of your peers that will be coming out to your schools here very soon. Please give a big round of applause for Kaya Plaka, Julia Zimmerman, and David Black.
Wake, snooze, drive, arrive, zone. Drive, return, repeat. Wake, snooze, drive, arrive, zone.
I have woken up to the sound of my own sigh every Monday through Friday. Instant
Coffee,
instant,
breakfast,
instant.
sack lunch. The clothes you picked the night before weren't supposed to make you feel dusty.
And in an instant,
they have.
But not enough things are instant.
When you're playing hide and seek in an empty house.
Turning every dark corner, ripping up every floorboard,
Tearing apart closets, flipping over writing desks, flinging open the curtains, throwing books off the shelves to find the one that will open the trap door.
Until you realize that that empty house is just your body. And you've gotten lost looking for yourself inside.
Wake,
snooze,
drive,
arrive,
zone,
drive,
return,
repeat,
wake,
snooze,
drive,
arrive,
zone. They say you spend over a third of your life sleeping.
That's a lot of time lost.
How do you lose something relative?
Maybe we're all relative, etched into the surface of someone's dreamland, wandering around the leather strings of someone's dream catcher, debating whether or not to be a nightmare tonight.
Wake, snooze,
drive,
arrive. Welcome to the greatest country on earth, where for some hard work and religious values, you too can have your very own lobotomy with a lawn and yard running.
Neighbors with bags under the eyes of their fragile faces. I want to break fragile with every knuckle in my clenched fist.
Want to break lawnmowers and garden gnomes.
Want to break everything, but I guess knuckles break too.
Something I learned after punching my day planner. Who knew plans were so concrete?
Every splatter of blood looks like another appointment, looks like another obligation, looks like another wake.
Wake,
snooze,
drive,
arrive, zone,
drive. Looks like my bandaged knuckles gripping my steering wheel.
My brain wants to take the exit out of town, but my knuckles know that day planners win more fights than daydreams.
Know that they can't break concrete, and instead take my car to where I'm supposed to be at 2:15.
Wake, snooze,
drive, arrive, zone, drive, return, repeat. Wake, snooze.
The clock tries to conduct me like I'm its orchestra.
It ticks like a bomb. You have 63 years, 4 months, 18 days, and 6 hours left until you stop existing.
Instead of taking this as a cue to live, we use it to schedule plans.
Funeral at 6 tomorrow. Black dress.
Don't forget.
But I don't hate the clock.
I see a lot of myself in it.
Moving in circles, passing the same landmarks every day.
But I want it to move differently. It's like a delayed dance partner who won't follow my steps.
And I wish it went easier on us. It rips out our hair, rips out our teeth,
stretches our skin, hunches our backs, makes our mind reach their capacity so they have to start letting go.
Ages us.
Wake,
snooze, drive, arrive, zone. Drive, return, repeat. Wake, snooze, drive, arrive, zone. They say you spend a third of your life sleeping. These days I can't tell the difference.
I've stopped wearing my dream catcher around my neck like a gold medal because it didn't stop the dispatch of my daydreams.
But I know there's an awakening inside of me. And when it's brave enough to call Ollie Ollie Oxen free,
I will find it. And I
will
wake up!
The day we met, the Weather Channel had predicted a sunny day, but we were praying for rain. So you composed a lightning and water concerto written in the key of introductions and first impressions. And when we first heard the rhythmic rumbling of distant thunder, we looked at each other with smiles that said, I like where this is going. You were the first hurricane that ever burst the levees of my emotions, and I knew that no life jacket could save me from the oncoming floods, but I surrendered to your majesty, and I was hit head-on with a rush of salt water, and all of the nightmares that had ever slipped past my dream catcher. I heard that drowning yourself in someone is like drinking a glass of water. Yes, I was there the day the Titanic fell in love with an iceberg. I was the man overboard, struggling to keep head above water until I saw you, a lifeboat, salvation, crashing through the frigid waters of my uncertainty. And I told you that I had a weakness for girls that like staring at the night sky, but I never knew that anyone could make the stars of my zodiac sing like a gospel choir, and like a Messiah bathed in golden light, you turned my every word into hallelujah. You were the face that launched 1,000 ships across the ocean of my pathetic poetic attempts to impress you, but I guess that worked. Because we run races, chasing the sun over the horizon, our laughter in perfect harmony with the butterfly's wings. You told me that you had painted the northern lights inside your eyelids, and I said that I'd written the Grand Canyon into my lips, and the river of teeth flowing beneath those cliffs. I'd never spoken a name that was as beautiful as yours. There was this one day where we both flew kites, and we wondered if they ever get jealous of birds, so together we built a kite out of photographs and enough string to fly us to the moon. You were the sticks and stones that blessed my bones, that rattled my brain and sent me on the ride of my life. I held on to anything that I could reach for as long as the tiny muscles in my fingers could contain. However, I eventually realized that it's much more fun if you put your arms up and unbuckle your seatbelt. I loved how you made up love stories about the storm clouds that loomed overhead on the day we met. As each raindrop graced my skin, I pretended that they were diamonds that had fallen from your eyes after the rain. We followed the breadcrumbs to the end of the rainbow, but those short Irish stole our pot of gold, so you said we should go beat the out of them, and I thought, girl, where have you been all my life? You write poems that shatter time zones, make mountains topple, and make the Big Bang seem like a cigarette lighter next to your flash of lightning, and we don't need paper to write our poetry. Our metaphors will play on the mazes of roads in between us. We will defy gravity and endure to the edges of time because you are the past, the present, and the tidal wave that I've always dreamt of. You are the eye of the storm. And the Weather Channel said today's going to have plenty of sunshine. And I was just wondering if you'd like to make a hurricane.